Hello there, I'm Nathalia Melo, your unfiltered fit BFF, mom of two turned CEO of a fitness empire. Someone who understands the struggles of trying to stay fit, sane, and sexy, all while juggling work, life, and motherhood. And this is the Unfiltered Fit Life podcast. Follow along wherever you're listening and join me weekly as I help busy working moms just like you simplify their fitness journey so they can lose weight, regain their confidence, and feel sexy AF. It's time to stop living in the what ifs and hiding from the cameras. It's time to regain control over your body, feel sexy naked, and wear a bikini confidently. People already see you as a super confident woman, but it's time for you to feel the same way too. Let's go. Hello there, fam. Welcome to another episode of the Unfiltered Fit Life podcast. I'm Nathalia Melo, your host, and today we have a very close to my heart guest, I must say. I remember my first conversation with this incredible woman, and I heard her story and I was just blown away. She's now a member of the Powerhouse Academy, and she is absolutely killing it. And if you're needing some inspiration, motivation, that kick on the butt that to get things going, this story is going to be it. And the funny thing is that whenever I asked her to do this and I told her that her story would be motivating, she's like, I don't know how my story would be motivating. I'm like, girl. Susan, welcome.
Hey.
How is that intro for you?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
No, you are, your story is amazing. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and, just whatever you feel comfortable sharing, just go for it.
That's true. I'm 44, a mom of 3 boys that are insane, keep me busy constantly. Boys.
Yeah.
I lost my husband 2 years ago almost. It'll be 2 years in August. He passed away unexpectedly. Very unexpectedly. He left to go to the grocery store. Never saw him again. So my kids are very young. I have a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So the baby was only 4 months old when my husband passed away.
You're a legend. I just want to put that out there. You're like an absolute legend.
Thanks. So it's just been kind of survival mode the last couple of years.
Which then came, thanks for sharing that. And obviously I didn't want to share more than you are comfortable sharing. So, I'm going to let you take the lead here on whatever it is that you feel comfortable talking about. I just really want to talk about your story because I do feel that it is inspiring about the grit, about the resilience, the understanding the importance of taking care of yourself, which kind of brings me to my next question, Susan. What was going on whenever you reached out to me? What was happening? What made you realize something had to change?
Well, I've always been always worked out my whole life. That's just I competed in a way long time ago too, and just past you get used to just being fit. And then when I lost my husband, I stopped completely. Almost that whole 2 years until I reached out to you. I just didn't have any motivation. I didn't know what you would say. I just couldn't. But then when I reached out to you, seeing you, I followed you on Instagram. I kept seeing videos, and also speak your own stuff. But
You're kind of what? Sorry, cut off. You said that you're kind of what?
I said I'm also a bartender, so I said I speak your language.
Yeah.
Very much. I tend to cuss a lot. But I wasn't physically, when you start moving and stuff. having any zest for life, I guess. But your body changes, mentally, you're not, when you're used to working out and you start, like mentally that messes with you. Right? On top of
Mm-hmm.
everything else.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't remember exactly what video it was or anything, but I was
Okay.
tired of feeling like that and looking like that.
Okay. Especially knowing that you had competed before and knowing like what you could look like, and but
Right. Well,
obviously,
that's a constant mind screw, right? Like after
yeah.
you compete.
Yeah, 100%. So you were seeing my content and you knew that something had to change. What made you decide to talk to me? Like why what was it what was it that made what you saw in the messaging different for you specifically?
Um, I don't know. I think you're just funky, and I appreciate that. Uh, I appreciate that. And then I feel like you're pretty no bullshit.
Yeah.
So, and I'm very much like that.
Okay.
So I just need that.
I love that. And competing, I'm going to assume, and I don't know this, we haven't talked about this before. But did you work with any previous coaches before? Did you have experience with coaches in the past?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, not healthy, I would say. Uh,
Okay.
like the bounce back from those competitions were awful.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like, and there was no support there from that at all.
Yeah.
Like, it,
Okay.
uh, I could go
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah, we can do a whole episode just that. Actually, I have done episodes on that. So, and what was it about whenever we talked about the Powerhouse Academy that you felt that was different?
Um, well, when you have like your whole team is just amazing. Like Jen's awesome. Um, and I felt that you take into account like people's mental state, like where they are mentally and physically, and you just take everything into account versus this is the angle, and I'm going to get you there no matter what. And
Yeah.
then once you're there, see you later. I think that stuff it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Or it
Mm-hmm.
does for a minute, and then you're screwed when you left.
Yep. Yeah, and that's I think a problem that a lot of people have that have competed is that false sense, and I don't mean this as shade at all, and but it's just that false sense of, oh, I know how to get in shape. Yeah,
Mhm.
like do you though? Because it is one thing to get in shape and then the next week go backwards when you don't have a lot going on, and it's a completely different ballgame when you're juggling three kids, dealing with grief and everything
Yeah,
that
that's
turned upside down. And then it's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go and do 2 hours of cardio because that's going to fix all my problems. It doesn't work
like
like that.
I don't have 2 hours in the day for myself ever. That would be
Hmm.
amazing. No,
I'm jealous. How, like, can I add 2 hours in my day so I can do that?
really,
I I
yeah,
love it.
no, that's so good.
So whenever we were talking, because obviously you had negative experiences in the past, which I totally get it because being there, and I think that's something that we spoke extensively. What made you skeptical whenever we were talking about, because I do feel like whenever I'm telling someone about how the Powerhouse Academy works, people are like, oh, this is too good to be true. Like, you're full of shit. So what was it that, like, what made you skeptical?
I, I tend to take. You're just feel like you're a very honest person. I feel like I'm a good read of people. I don't know. That's probably not the answer you're looking for. But you're just so straightforward. It's hard to. There's just no bullshit.
Hmm. So let me
You know.
rephrase this differently. Has there been anything that I told you at the beginning? And I'm going off the cuff here, guys. I have no idea what she's going to answer. So FYI,
Uh,
I'm like, that's a Hail
I would.
Mary. Like, Was there anything that I told you whenever we first had our conversation that wasn't what you got?
No, no. I feel like you were very straightforward, like what to expect. Actually, you even answered questions because, when my brain, since I lost my husband, I could go on a whole thing about grief, but your brain kind of doesn't function like it used
Uh-huh.
to. Um, so I'm still kind of dealing with that. It's like it's like a brain fog.
Yeah.
Um, and see, now I just lost what I was saying. Well, you answered questions that I couldn't even think of by myself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So basically, like in our conversation, I was able to kind of like fast forward a few steps and answer questions that you didn't even know that were going to be questions. And
Right. Like we would have gotten off the phone and like 2 days later I would have been like, shit, why didn't I ask that? But you already asked it for me, so I didn't have to ask it. Does that make sense?
okay, yeah, because I like to ask this question because oftentimes it's kind of like I said, you have these people that promise the universe, and then whenever you kind of get in it, it's completely different. So that's kind of why I wanted to ask you, because obviously you were in a very delicate position.
Mm-hmm.
So
You guys are extremely fast about answering any questions I do have. Like if I send you a message or Jen or whoever through like y'all get back to me within a couple hours. I think.
mhm,
It's been very fast every time
mhm,
I've had any question. So it's not that I'm like sending you messages at 3 in the morning. That I've been pretty business
yeah.
type hours, but you guys are very fast to answer any questions I have. And very thorough and making sure that I get the answers that I want. It's just fun.
Hmm.
I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate you trusting the process, because you have been juggling quite a lot of balls. So it's easy to kind of want to default to the thing that which is like the extreme. Oh, I'm going to start like I'm not going to eat very much because then maybe that's going to solve the problem, and then it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I definitely.
what made you decide to commit?
I just, oh gosh, when you look in the mirror and you're just like, oh my God, I can't even. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want pictures with my kids. Like, just leave me out of them. That's horrible. And they need the picture. Like, you need pictures.
Yeah.
That's all you have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Once that time's gone, that's all you have, and that's horrible. To just
Mm-hmm.
not want to look at yourself, so you don't get in the
Mm-hmm.
picture. That's awful.
Okay.
That's a bad
And
mindset.
I mean, but it happens though, and I appreciate you being honest and transparent about that, because that's the other thing as well. I think that we're living in a society now that everybody's like pretending that everything is okay and everything is normal. Like if you mention that you're unhappy about how you look, people are just like, "Oh no, but you look great."
Yeah,
Okay, yes, but I don't feel great. So
that's
why
for
do I have to
me,
accept?
right? Like for me, my great is not what you think my great is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Um, like maybe it's because I competed. I don't know. But, like, I don't want to look you're good. I want to look what I think looks
And your potential,
right.
so it's kind of like how, like, you've been there, how it feels, how it tastes,
Right. And
how.
I don't expect to look like I'm going to walk on
Yeah,
stage. I'm not that crazy, but I want to look like how that girl works. Like I like
yeah.
that look. So
Hmm. And there's also the health aspect of it as well, having
that's
3 kids.
they're like trying to keep up with them. They're crazy. They're wanting me carry. I have to carry all three of them sometimes by myself, which is 7, 4, and 2. That's a lot.
Oh yeah, I don't think I can carry my 7 and my 6-year-old at the same time.
Oh, huh. If you can't, if you will if you have to.
Yeah, stop the noise. So, so what how like how have things changed since you joined the Powerhouse Academy? Like, how has your life, and have you taken the pictures with your kids? How has your life? How are you feeling? How are you? How not only your physical, but also how has it helped you mentally? Like, how has it impacted you?
But I think I told you also, like when we first we're in bathing suits a lot in the summertime. And the thought of getting in a bathing suit with my kids just was not something I was looking forward to. Now I feel comfortable getting back in my bathing suit. So
Yay!
that's like huge. Yeah. And like the fact that I go to the gym, I didn't step foot in the gym for 2 years. Like I'm not even exaggerating that. So like now that I'm back in the gym, and it's just like walking out of there, like my mood is just so much elevated, like so elevated. So it's great. Like I'm in the better mood. I'm sure that's just
Yeah, yeah. So it's impacting even your ability to make memories with your kids. Like put on a bikini and go to the
yeah,
beach without even thinking about it.
yeah. Like being able to go and not like worry about what I'm gonna wear to cover my big butt
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, your
Yeah.
stomach. It's
Mm-hmm.
just feeling comfortable enough to not have to wear it. I don't want to. Just have fun with them. Go sit and play in the sand and
Yeah.
not have to worry about
Do you feel like your kids are noticing? I mean, they're very observant. At least my daughter, if I'm grumpy one day, she's like, "What's up with you?" And she's
it. Yeah,
6. I'm like,
yeah,
"Child,
yeah.
pipe it down."
Yeah. Actually, my son, I, I told my son last night I was going to go work out. He's like, "Yay!" 'Cause he knows I'm going
Because he
to
knows
work
you
out.
feel better.
Mhm.
Oh, that's so powerful though. And like also the example that you're giving to them.
Yeah. So it's good. Everything's been good.
That's amazing. So, last question for you. Imagine that you had a friend that came to you and they were very skeptical about joining. They didn't know because they've had bad experiences with coaches in the past, which we all know happens. What and
Unfortunately.
or even the investment, because I know that the Powerhouse Academy is not cheap. um it's not cheap, and I don't talk, I'm not out there saying that it is the cheapest program. I don't want to be the cheapest program. I want to be the program that truly
Mhm.
changes lives. That's my goal, and that is going to come with an investment because we do have the experts
Right.
to support that transition. So what would you say to someone who is skeptical because they had bad experiences in the past and they don't want to spend that kind of money without you know being sure that it's going to be like a contest prep coach or all the nonsense coaches out
Well,
there? What would you say if you were a friend?
so like growing up, my dad always said you get what you pay for. You are paying for not only you and then your team. Like honestly, I've had I know not just my work I work. Like I have several friends that have gone through the whole process. I don't know anybody that has like a team support like you do. Like that's amazing. Like the amount of support, just because it's not just you. You have Jen and the nutrition, and then it's just and your assistants. She knows me too. So like
Yeah.
it's a lot of help.
So whenever you say that you have friends, you're referring to like not only you having hired coaches, but also your friends that that have hired coaches in the past. Is that what
In the
you're talking about?
past. Yeah, they've gone through different coaches too. I used to compete on teams that competed too, and none of them had. I don't know if they had good experiences or bad experiences necessarily with their coach, but I can tell you that their coach didn't have a team of people with them helping them.
I love
I
that.
know that
So what would be your word to somebody who is on the fence?
It's
Good.
good.
Susan is a woman of few words. I love it. I love it.
No, I did because like what all you're gonna you can do it and then in 6 months you can be like, damn, I look good, or you can do it and not do it in 6 months and be like, maybe you do, maybe you don't. You probably won't.
Yeah. And the
You know,
truth is
like
that 6 months is going to pass anyway.
exactly. Like you're gonna no matter what, 6 months is gonna go by. So you can either be extremely happy with the commitment that you made and all the support that you got, or you can run like, damn, why didn't I do that 6 months ago?
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. And I appreciate you saying this as well because of your past experiences and also bringing the experiences that you've heard from friends as well, because I think that that's powerful. Susan, it's been amazing. I know that you want to be respectful of your time. I know that you have to be somewhere shortly. Anything that you'd like to share that maybe I didn't ask that you think would be important to highlight? Because I actually am going to add something. Because also in the process, since you joined, you are down what? Hold on, I had a note here. 20, 15 pounds, 20?
I don't know. I can tell you that the pictures look completely different. Like all
Really?
like if you look at my starting pictures, especially, yeah, I won't look at those pictures with you.
Yeah, so you're down about 15 pounds, give and take, since
I'm
joining.
short. Yeah, I'm short. So that's like a lot. 15 pounds is a lot. And I'm really short.
And I'm going to share something here that you didn't mention, which I also think it's important to. In this period that you have been with us, which is being 3.5, 4 months, give and take. I don't even think that. Like, let's go with 3.5 months just for the sake of argument. But I don't even think that is being that long. 15 pounds. And in this time period, you also was taking care of your mother-in-law,
Yeah, exactly.
driving to hospitals and taking care of your three small children, dealing with the grief. So it's not that it has been a walk in the park that you are just like, oh yeah, and now all these stars have aligned and it's just everything perfect.
No, 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 no. I had to find, like, honestly, like, I have no time in my day for myself. Like, right now, I'm sitting in the carpet for my child. I came a little bit early so we could talk. I have
Yeah.
no kids running around being crazy. But, no, no time for me. Like,
Hmm.
the workouts are so short and, like, efficient. Amazing. Like, I'm so used to being in the gym for um, um, like 20, 30 minutes and you're done. It's fantastic. And it's a great workout. Like,
I love that. I love that. And I think that is important to highlight that because I always have people kind of waiting for the perfect time. And it's like, oh, this happened. Then I can't do that because I broke my nail. Oh, I can't do that because like vacation is coming. Oh, because I'm taking care of somebody. You literally were in and out of hospitals with your
yeah,
mother-in-law as you
she
made
had a,
these significant
yeah,
changes.
she had a brain aneurysm. So, like, I was in the hospital almost every day.
Yeah.
But just, like working out, sometimes I'd work out on the porch with my kids running around being crazy. I didn't get to the gym every day, but, I did work out too. And
You got done.
sometimes I got done. Like, I wouldn't have to, like, or on the way home from the hospital, I'd run into the gym real quick and then go home. Like, it was just anything that so the 20 minutes. Who, I have, I can make time for 20 minutes. I can stay up
Yeah.
20 minutes a day. It's,
I love it. I love it. Susan, thank you so much for your time. Like I say, I know you're in the pickup line. Go be a badass mom that you are, your badass self. I'm gonna say here again, I've told you a quadzillion times. I started this podcast, this interview saying you are goals. That's all I have to say. You are absolute goals. Your resilience, your, showing up with days that I'm pretty sure that you didn't want to show up. You just probably wanted to stay in bed and sleep and like let the kids fend for themselves.
yeah,
But you're here
definitely.
taking one day at a time, and not giving up on yourself. And I think that is the message. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Susan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in this week. But let me ask you, what was your aha moment in today's episode? I would love to know. You can leave me a comment or voice message at the link in the show description. You can also follow me on Instagram and let me know what topics you want to hear more about or who I should have on the show. As for today, this is it for today, guys. I'll see you back next week for another episode of the Unfiltered Fit Life podcast.